I like big butts, and I cannot lie. Pork butts, y'all. Let's keep this thing G-rated. One of the best things that you can get, especially in my neck of the woods, is some barbecue. And barbecue pork takes the cake, so to speak, or takes the prize. We got a ton of barbecue competitions going on down here too. But today on Southern Keto, I want to show you how I make the best smoked pork butt using one of my favorite new tools, the Typhur Sync Quad. This is an amazing thermometer. It's got 4 different probes you can use. It has an app you can use with it, and it just makes this foolproof. Unless you're smoking it and you forget to check your wood or make sure your temperature is okay. But I'm gonna use my electric smoker and my Typhur Sync Quad, and we're gonna make the perfect pork butt right after this. Good pork barbecue is loved nationwide. Now the sauces may vary. You've got some honey-based sauces that you could use my keto honey with. You've got some mustard-based sauces, and you've got some tomato-based sauces. And there's probably a lot of other sauces that I don't even know about. But the one thing that's a source of great pride for anybody that smokes, the pit bosses, is to get you a beautiful pork butt, smoke it low and slow until it is absolutely perfect, that has a bark on it that'll blow your mind, and then finish it with a great sauce, whatever you like. Well, this new Typhur Sync Quad came just in time. I was gonna get up early in the morning the next day, and I went to the mailbox, and this had come. Now I knew this was coming, but I figured it would be another week or so before I got it, but they got it to me really, really fast. So I just ripped into it so I could go ahead and start playing with my new toy a little earlier than I thought. And one thing I'll always tell you about kitchen tools and kitchen gadgets, if the packaging's cheap, the product probably is too. If they didn't put time and effort into packaging, they probably didn't put time and effort into the product. And that's why, although I've gotten a few of these to try out, this is the one I would recommend. I mean, it's got a 3-year warranty with it, which you can't even hardly get that on a car anymore, much less a kitchen tool. Now, Typhur didn't sponsor this video, but they did send this to me. And they also sent me a coupon code that you can use, and I'll leave that right here and down in the description as well, so you can pick one of these up if you want. I can't wait until Thanksgiving when I'm trying to cook 3-4 different meats at the same time, and this will do it perfectly without me having to have thermometers everywhere. So let's just get right to it, and I'm gonna show you how to make the perfect big butts, and I cannot lie. Now the first thing you need to do is pick yourself out a nice pork butt. It should have a nice fat cap on one side, and the other side should look like this, nice and marbled. This one's about 7 pounds, so it should take somewhere around 10 hours or so to smoke. And I like to leave the rub on it about 12 hours in advance before I get ready to smoke it. So a little bit of preparation time is needed. So what I'm gonna do now is just put that pork butt down, and I'm gonna dry it off as much as possible. You wanna make sure you do that so that that rub has a chance to soak in, and the salt in that rub is gonna pull out a little bit of moisture anyway. So just make sure you get it as dry as you can before you rub it down. The next thing I'm gonna do is just take some heavy duty aluminum foil. Make sure you get the heavy duty kind, because you want to be able to hold the heat in later on, you'll see. But just take 2 pieces of that. We're gonna put the pork butt on it, and then put the dry rub on top of that, wrap it up real good, and put it in the fridge at least 12 hours or overnight. And you can use any kind of rub that you like, but I'm using the coffee rub that I showed you how to make in that coffee video. So I'll put a link to that up above and down in the description if you want to make it. It's one of the best I've found. And then while that's chilling in the fridge, I'm gonna go ahead and set up my Typhur. They make it real easy. You just scan the QR code right on the front, and I already have a Typhur air fryer, which I absolutely love as well. Best air fryer I've ever gotten. But you can just go in, fill out all the information, and register for that warranty while you're waiting. And now it's early in the morning, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to my smoker, get my hickory chips ready. And I like to use a combination of hickory and cherry and mesquite. I like to throw all kind of stuff in there. And don't make fun of my old rusted out smoker. I mean, this thing's over 10 years old, and that's what I'm talking about. When you buy a kitchen product, make sure you get a quality one that's gonna last, like this one has. Now it's time to unwrap this pork butt and get it ready to start in the smoker. I mean, with that coffee rub on there, that thing looks good already. So now I'm gonna turn on my Typhur Sync Quad, And I'm also going to log in the app, but one cool thing about it, you can either use the thermometer or you can use the app, or you can use both like I do. That's one of the nice things about it. One of the coolest things about this, if you connect your base unit to your Wi-Fi, no matter where you're at, you can see what's going on your phone, or you can see on the thermometer up to 400 feet away. If you love kitchen tools and you love barbecue, these two go together perfectly. If you're not subscribed to my channel, click the subscribe button right down there that lit up for you and the bell beside it, and you'll know anytime I make a new video about kitchen tools that you may love or keto foods that you're absolutely gonna love. Now that I've got this completely set up, I'm gonna take 2 of these probes and put in this meat. And the nice thing about these probes, they've got 6 sensors in each one, so you get a completely accurate picture of the ambient temperature around the meat and the internal temperature. So I'm just gonna put this first probe right in that pork butt about halfway down. They've got a little line on there, just make sure you go past the line, and that way it's gonna be an accurate temperature reading for you. Then I'm gonna take the second probe out and put it in there. Now you don't need to do both of them. You can just do one if you want, but I love to be really accurate and make sure that I have the best possible meat. So I'm going right in the top with this one, give her a nice little pat, and we are ready to go to the smoker. And now you can see why I like to use 2 probes, because this came out, you got about a degree difference when it came out of the fridge. Now, unlike one of the thermometers you saw me use in the past, this thing's completely wireless, so you don't have to worry about cords and stuff. Just throw it right in the smoker and let's go. You can also set up an alert on your base station so that once the meat gets to the internal temperature that you pick, it'll send you a text notification and an alarm on the base unit itself. And I'm gonna pull mine at 190. And you can see once it goes back to the main screen that you've got the internal temperature and the ambient temperature and your target of whatever you set up. Now that that's ready to go, I'm just gonna put together a little spray for this. I'm gonna use equal parts water and apple cider vinegar. And I'm gonna go in about every half hour or so and just give it a little spritz down in there. Helps to keep the moisture in, gives it a great flavor, and it just gets nice and steamy and smoky inside that smoker. So let me just sling this door open, give this thing a quick spray, and then close it up pretty quick, just so we don't lose too much heat. But the nice thing with those sensor probes in there, I'm not too worried about it because I'm not gonna pull it before the internal temperature is time. Now this is a totally optional step, and you can set your Typhur up to give you an alarm when this happens, but once it gets to 165 internal, I like to take it out, wrap it back up because you got a lot of smoke flavor in there already, and then put it back in the smoker. So I'm just gonna go open this up, take it out, put it back on that foil after I give it another good spray. And you can see it's telling me to remove it from heat. I'd set it up to 162 just in case I was a little busy and couldn't get to it right at the time. But now I'm just gonna take some foil. You could have saved that same foil from before if you wanted to. And then we'll take this pork butt out and put it right on the foil. Then I'm gonna wrap it up real good and put it back in the smoker until it's ready. And if you're using an electric smoker like this, just make sure that you add wood chips in there every hour or so, or when you don't see smoke coming out the top anymore. You want to almost close the top all the way, but not quite. And I just got the text message that told me this was ready, so let's see what it looks like now. Let's go ahead and get it out of the smoker. Just make sure you get you some nice gloves to take this out with. Don't try to go in barehanded or anything. And just remember, everything I use in these videos will be down in the description box, including this Typhur Sync Quad, which is my new favorite toy. Now, once you get this big butt out of the smoker, don't go cutting into it right away. You need to let it sit and rest for 45 minutes or an hour before you go into it. And I'm doing mine for 45. Now, I'm telling you right now, this is gonna be worth the wait. We're gonna take it out, and look at that little fool back there trying to see if I drop something. Oh man, I'm telling you right now, we're gonna be eating good tonight. Make sure you take those sensors out. They weren't really hot, but you know, nobody wants a mouthful of sensors, so make sure you pull those out. You can put them right in the dishwasher to wash them. That's another cool thing about it. Hey, the easier the better in my opinion as far as cleanup goes. And that's what it should look like when it's all done. Look at the bark on that thing. I mean, that is absolutely beautiful. That coffee rub makes a nice addition to this. But the thing we got to do now is shred it out, because you can't have pulled pork without shredding. If you got some fancy claws, you can use those things. But I just used a couple forks to pull this pork. It is absolutely delicious. And that Typhur Sync Quad takes all the guesswork out of it. It's going to come out perfect. And now the only thing left to do is top it with your favorite sauce. I'd recommend my barbecue sauce, and enjoy. You know what goes great with great barbecue is my coleslaw. I'm gonna put that recipe right over there for you. If you haven't seen it, check it out, and you're absolutely gonna love it. And I'm gonna leave another one down there for you with another side that's gonna go great with barbecue. If you wanna support my channel and help me keep doing these videos that I love doing for you, I've got a couple ways you can help down in the description. Buy me a coffee and some YouTube subscriptions now as well. Every little bit makes a huge difference to me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.